A few minor adjustments here, microphone, so I don't trip and fall and kill myself. Adjust this. So there's that you can't see. That you can't see. How do I do this? Right there. Trying to get the French at the top and the Prussians at the bottom. I think we just have one broken unit cut off. I like the proximity of camera distance to table, so we'll stick with that. And here we go. I guess you could call it the same old Dr. Frankenstein stuff. This is still same rules that I've been working on that I used in the last video. And they're freaking cool. So here we go. This is the Prussian turn, rally phase. This is the second half of turn 2. I'll describe things as I go along so it makes sense. Here we go. I've already rolled command for everybody. So it is now actually, let's go one by one. This is the rally phase. So anybody that's broken can try to rally. We do have a Prussian line unit here right next to the church that is broken. Since they are the attacker this round, they can self-rally. There's going to be a +1 die roll modifier for that. They'll need a 7 or less to do so. Roll to 10, they stay broken. And then the French have, see, one broken unit here. He cannot self-rally because he's not the attacker, which means what? He doesn't have a same head, so he can't rally, I guess is what that means. Okay, fine. Cat has joined us, if you might hear. We have these two units locked in melee. So those of you that play Advanced Squad Leader should find a lot of terms and concepts familiar. I've adapted them for this. It's an ongoing project, off and on, something I've wanted to do for some time. And I'm finally getting it done. Rally phase is over. What else do we need to do in rally phase? Anything else? Roll to fix. Okay, no, we don't have any of that. So now we go to the fire phase. Do we have any? Yes, we do. Let's see. I'm going to fire. We've got I need many markers here. I'll need these guys and these guys. Markers are the name of the game with this stuff. You don't mark what you're doing, you're going to lose track fast. So let's fire, and you could call this, although I'm not, for the ASL aficionados, you could call this the prep fire phase. I'm just calling it the fire phase. We have a unit in column that can fire, but he won't be able to fire at full strength because he's in column. So that'll be, let's add up all the modifiers here. He is normally a 4, so that drops to, here, let's just do it this way. It's going to be 2. Nobody's supporting the attack. Preach, rank, and the target. 3, 4. And that's it. Not bad. I'll take a 4. The combat results table is essentially the same as in ASL, except there's no 1 KIA, 2 KIA, 3 KIA. It's all just KIA. We'll get to that when we get to it. Roll for the roll to 3. That is awesome. 3 is a +2 morale check on him. We rolled a 5, 6, 7. He's fine. I almost did something there. He can't fire. He's locked in melee. We'll have to wait till the close combat phase. These two are out of command. It's not the movement phase yet, so we'll wait on him. We can fire here, can we not? He is in line formation, so he'll get the full unit strength when he fires. Let's ring that up. He's going to be a 4. Per rank is 6. 6 it is. We'll move up to the 6 column. And -1 on our die roll, because no, we don't. That's only for melee. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is not good. We got nothing. Terrible roll. I was going to say we could add the leader modifier, but that's only for melee, not fire, at least at this point. Marked him already. These guys need to unlimber. Nothing in range here. We have stuff here we can do. This is Prussian foot artillery. 2x range is a 3. Then we go 4, and then it drops back down to 3. So we don't have a 3. It drops to a 2 column. Roll a 5. That's a normal morale check on that cavalry unit. They have a -1 die roll modifier for the attached leader. Did roll an 8, but guess what? Drops to a 7, so he's fine because of the attached leader. Mark him. Hey, Mark. Broken and out of command. So that's it as far as units that can and want to fire, that have things in range, etc. That brings us to the Prussian movement phase. We have light cavalry here that can move up 3. Actually, we're going to do 2 moves, so we're still out of range of French infantry. Mark him as having moved. We have this unit here that can move up 1. You do need to be in column if you're infantry to move, and he can do moving ranged fire. We'll get to that when we get to that. Anybody else? Locked in melee, as mentioned. Let's hang here. I'm not going to move. Those guys are done. Do we have 2 light cavalry units here? 1, 2, 3. We'll put them there. You'll see why in a second. Actually, in about 5 minutes. Anybody watching, let me know if you can hear me, if the microphone level is too low or too loud. And then, yeah, let's continue with the center here. 1, 2, 3, right there. I like that. Mark him as having moved. Movement phase, you want to, this is horse artillery. We can move 1. Let's do that. We'll move 1 and unlimber. That'll be our full movement allotment. And he won't be able to fire, but we'll see. I think that's it. Okay, that's it for the movement phase, yes? Then we have defensive fire phase, so any French that have opposing units within range can defensive fire. I don't know who that involves. I guess that involves this. This is a condensed defensive fire thing from ASL. Then we have first fire here. Lots of defensive fire, I guess, here. And here. And here. Here. And good Lord. You've got your prep fire markers in my defensive fire phases. Those old Reese's commercials, peanut butter cups. You got your chocolate in my peanut butter. Okay, that's your defensive fire. May even have a unit, this guy here. Okay, so let's get scooping with all this stuff. Let's go defensive fire here. Take this off. Okay, defensive fire here. That is, he's in column, so that's not the best, but it still works too. Yeah, well, let's do that. Let's we're going to combine him as support. So that's going to be 4, 5, 6. Drops back down to 5. There's no 5, so we're at the 4 column here. What do we get? We get an 8, and that's nothing. That brings us to. Let's do the same thing here. Let's use one adjacent unit for support. So again, that will be firing is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 it is. Let's roll that out. And we get a 2, which is awesome. That guy's reduced to half strength. And what else? So that's our KIA result. Full strength unit gets reduced to half strength. Half strength unit is eliminated. Let's do this. We'll fire with him and use him as support. No. Let's fire separately. We've got 3. That's French light infantry. It's actually going to be, since he's in line, no, he's in column still. It will be 3. And then 1 for cavalry ranks is 4. So 4 column. Anything? Bueller, 6, 9, 9, 10, nothing. And then this doodad here, which is in column and half strength, which is only going to be 1, 2, just 2 column. That's terrible. Roll a 5 though, which is a normal morale check for the Parsees. And they rolled an 8. So they're fine. Okay, whatever. Then we've got our artillery here. 1, 2, 3, 4 hex range. That's foot is a 1. And then it's a 2 because they're in line. So again on the 2 column, anything doing? No. 11. We've got French line. Column is 2. Rank bonus for artillery is a 3, and that's all we're going to get. No 3 column, so it stays in the 2 column. Roll a 9, that's nothing. And finally, artillery here. Foot again at 1, 2, 3 hex range is a 2. That's going to be 3 and 4. 4 column on that guy. And roll a 5, so that's a +1 morale check on him. 4, 5, 6, 7, and our +1 makes 8, so he has broken. That's a lot of work for one broken unit. But this Prussian left flank is now essentially broken. There we go. That was our defensive fire phase. Now here is our, what I am calling advancing fire phase. We'll get to the other one in a second. Any Prussian units that moved can fire at half strength. That would include this gentleman here. It's in column, so cut in half for half firepower. It's going to be 1. Rank bonus for firing at column is going to be 3. Is no 3. Drops to a 2. And what do we get? Nothing. Anybody else? Horse artillery, I said could fire, did I not? He moved and unlimbered. He will fire. It's going to be half for him too. 2x range. That's going to be a 2. Drops to a 1. Back up to a 3 for firing that infantry in column. No 3 column. Drops to a 2 column. And that's a 5 normal morale check, so they need to do 7 or less. They failed, so they are broken. right, I think that's the end of the advancing fire phase. Then we do the route phase. Anybody broken? Yes. Need to route 1 hex. And if you can't, well, that's tough. He is now, according to the rules, he is still broken. In fact, he would have, both of these guys should have, rather, desperation morale. So let's mark them. I did. Now here's the thing. He had already broken and retreated last turn. He's still broken. Is he going to sit there or will he retreat again? I think. Let's just go ahead and pull him back again. He was unable to rally, if you can remember. He's off camera here. I apologize. These guys will pull back since they broke. So we're about to lose 2 units on the Prussian left unless we can rally them. They're going to break off the thing. And then the French unit that broke needs to pull back, right? And all I'm using to reference this is the commands and colors retreat distance. These units will have varying distances with which they retreat depending on the unit type and nationality. Okay, that's the end of that route phase. What else? Anything else going on in the route phase I need to know about? No. Okay, now we can do what I'm calling, it's essentially the advance phase, but I've turned it into the adjust phase. So the attacker only, right, can wheel or change formation. Wheel or change formation. I'm happy with the formation here for the infantry. Essentially, it really just affects infantry. I suppose limbering and unlimbering artillery is a thing, but these guys are locked in melee, so he can't do a thing. Which leaves these two guys. Let's put him in line. And this is for the attacking units that are not adjacent to enemy units that can do this adjust phase. It's the same hex movement type deal where you're either wheeling, that is to say turning, or changing formation. Am I happy with that? Yes. Which brings us to the close combat phase. Now, in the close combat phase is where we're going to have, who would have thunk it, close combat. So melee and our cavalry charges. Only melee infantry versus infantry we have is these two units here. Let's go ahead and resolve that. Attacker first. This is Prussian light infantry, and column is going to be 4. Go to our melee stats. Per rank in the unit. In column, so 5. And then drops back down to, I'm sorry, 6. It is going to drop back down to 4 because the French are also in column. So 4 it is. So our 4 column, roll it up. And the results that you get on this change when you're conducting melee. So there you ignore any shaken checks. And broken results translate to elimination results. So again, we'll get to that. So we rolled a 4 plus 1 morale check on that French light. So roll that up. He failed it. So as mentioned, where he would normally break, because it's melee, he loses half of his force. Now, he remains in the same hex, so he can battle back. I don't know why you wouldn't. As far as withdrawing from combat, close combat when you're locked in melee, this is straight up from ASL as well. So if you're the attacker, you need to roll, where is it at? Roll a 2, and you can withdraw from combat. If you're the defender, if you roll a 12, you can pull out of combat. Otherwise, you guys are locked in melee until you annihilate each other, which is an interesting concept. Then we have the French light infantry reply. He is now half strength at light unit, so that'll be 1.5, rounds down to 1. Per rank in the unit, he is in column, so that's a 3. But it's going to drop back down to 1 because the opposing unit is also in column, so not very good odds here for the French battling back. Well, we'll see. Did roll 6. We just missed a shaken check, which wouldn't matter anyway because you don't count shaken checks in melee. Now our charges. Do we have anything we want to charge, or do we want to just pay cash? We have. Yeah, we do actually. We have this light. Here, let's make this viewable. We have a light cavalry unit here with an attached leader, which means they won't cower on the combat results table. Yes, that's a thing. Also from advanced squad leader. This guy needs to form square. To do so, he has to do a morale check. It is 7. Yeah, just 7 or less. He failed. What does that mean? That means goody gumdrop for the Prussians. Where's my close combat marker? We're probably going to annihilate this dude because when you have successful cavalry charge against a unit that's not in square, that's a plus 10. It's an automatic 10 strength. So we're already at 10, and then we add up the rest. 10 target. Let me go to, I'm going to switch to this for 1 second. This is the first cavalry charge doing this. Cavalry charge. 10 plus cavalry unit strength. So our light cavalry for these here Prussians is a 3. So 10 plus 3, kids, 13. There's no 13. Drops to a 12 column. Is what we'll be rolling on. Brutal column. Every result just about we get except for 11 or 12. It's going to be something. I guess 10 since it's a shake and check. And what are you going to guess we rolled? Of all the possibilities. Now, it won't cower because we have an attached leader, but it still won't matter. 10 or 11 or 12 results in nothing. We got nothing. Can you believe that? But that means that's a terrible. And that means the French can battle back. Good Lord. Let me write down a note. French. Here, let's try that. Can French. Sorry, repause. Can unit bounce back versus. That should be infantry. Can an infantry unit bounce? Okay, got that. I don't know what he's going to be able to do. Okay, line infantry, melee, half strength, 4 drops to a 2. He is in columns, so that's 4. Cavalry drops to a 3. There's no 3, so it stays on a 2. And he rolled an 8 and he cowers and all kinds of stuff, so there's nothing doing there. So they are, in fact, also locked in melee. And then, what's next? Another possible cavalry charge. We have this guy here. Bless me. Let's go ahead and charge him as well. And he's going to roll to form square, so that's going to be 8 or less. He does form square, so this is not going well for the Prussians. Not going well for the Prussians. He is in square. I could balance that right on there. I guess not. Square? Yes. We'll put him adjacent. And now it's just a normal melee fight. There's no cavalry charge bonus because they were able to form square. So that means he's also light cavalry. That means 3. 4. And then it's going to drop to, no, hold on. 3, 4. They're in squares, so nothing there. It's going to be the 1 column. That's the lowest possible result. And we rolled a 6, which is nothing. Go figure. And then they'll battle back with. Let's go over here. These cavalry charges should have gone splendidly, and they just haven't. There's no reason why, especially where he wasn't able to form square, didn't go. What a bunch of junk. Let's mark him better so we know which unit is in square. Okay, so they'll battle back, light infantry. That's just going to be a 1. No rank bonus. It'll drop because of, so yeah, just a 1 column. And that's terrible. He rolled a 12 on that attack. But as the defender, no, he cannot. So here's another rule I need to consider. Can't move when you're in square, so that presents a problem for withdrawing from being locked in combat, locked in melee. So I need to note that as well. He's stuck there. He's in square. Melee. There we go. So let me note that. These are the little bugs that pop up as you play through. Unit and square, infantry unit. Cannot withdraw. When locked in combat. And melee. All right, there's a couple rules adjustments. And then we do have these guys. I mean, they've gone so horribly. You know what? I'm doing it anyway. I'm going to attack right here, doing the same thing. This is light cavalry. Let's roll to see if they can form square. That's 7 or less. And they did not. Awesome. So there's our 10. Unit strength is 11, 12, 13. Drops to the 12 column. Give me something. If I roll 12 again, I'm going to scream into the microphone. It does cower. No attached commander. So now we go to the 8 column. We rolled a 10 and nothing. Because we cowered, we got no result. I mean, it's not to say nothing happened, but it was not a decisive enough result to resolve any sort of what's going on. Use your imagination. They were able to inflict bruises and wounds and fear, but that's it. I need another close combat marker. These guys are not in square, so they'll. So that is line infantry. 4. Let me see this. So we're at the 4. Yeah, we got 4. Attack, ranking unit. So he's in column. That would be 6. That's 5. I'm going to go back to here and see. Wow, he rolled a 3. How is that possible? Plus 1 morale check on that light cavalry unit. Roll on 1 column. 4, he's fine. Okay, so now they're just locked in melee as well. There it is. Same question arises: can an infantry unit battle back versus? Because the way I have it is, infantry cannot attack cavalry in melee. But if they are attacked, they're not going to stand there and not defend themselves. So we need to work that out. Next phase is that's it. We'll pull all these markers off. This goes to turn 3. Back to the original attacker, the French. How many turns is this? I don't know. But I'm keeping track of how many turns go by. Using the commands and color scenario, again, they don't list the number of turns. It's just victory banners that you score, inflict, etc. All the command markers that were placed come off. What else? Desperation morale stays. Command marker comes off. Let's go over here. Defensive fire markers, command marker. Knocked over tree. There's a shot of your favorite booze. There. This guy and this guy. It should be a yes. Okay. Just fire. Now we got to roll command for everybody. We'll start with, for instance, the attacker. This guy needs a 9 or less. He failed it. That's great. What was that? Okay. No reason he should have failed that. Now we're doing a visual command since the leader failed. 7 or less on them. He's fine. 7 or less on them. They failed. Command. Can't do anything. Well, he's locked in. He doesn't need to roll for that anyway. I'll mark it, but when you're locked in melee, command doesn't matter. You can still fight in melee. And then 1, 2. This guy, he failed as well. So this is the first time this go around that the French have suffered a little gut punch to the command structure here. 1, 2. Let's roll him. Can we get an 8 or less? Yes, we rolled an 8. So he's in command, as are 1, 2. Well, they're locked in combat. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now that would bring him in command. So it wouldn't matter. So let's put him back in command. 1, 2. Okay. We've got I randomly generated these leader stats for each of these leaders, and we did actually end up with a once-in-a-lifetime roll and got a 10-2 leader here. It's crazy. He is in command, so that brings 1, 2, everybody else in command, because that brings this leader in command, which brings those leaders in command. I have one more note to add. A leader can a unit that failed command and leader command be brought by another leader. So there's 3 3 minor bugs. Let's do command for the Prussians. 8 or less here. In command, which brings 1, 2, 1, 2. He needs to roll individual command. 5, 6, 7, he's fine. 6, 7, he's fine. Even though they're doing their thing, I just want to make sure he's fine. Then, if we can bring him in command, 3, 4, yes, that means he's also in command. So, command 1, 2, roll individual command for here. 8. That's not in command. Oh, that foot artillery failed. And then these guys, which are broken, out of command, and out of command. So all right, now we can try and rally some folks. Attacker gets 1 self-rally. Let's go ahead and do him. 7 or less. He did pass, so he's back and still in full strength. We can rally this guy as well because he has an attached leader. We do have a +4 die roll modifier, so we're going to need a 7. -2 leader means 7 + 2. Rolled a 4. He's back. Makes a 6. So good rolls there. And then as far as the Prussians, they can't do a damn thing because they have no leaders. And they are not the attacker, so they cannot attempt to self-rally. So they're just kind of stuck. All right, and so that was the rally phase. And then the prep, I guess you call it the prep fire phase, fire phase. What do we want to do? We have units in column that want to conduct melee, not fire. That's what I see. Because it's just wasting them otherwise. So let's just skip that. Do we have any artillery that wants to fire? We should. Throw this 1, 2, 3, 4. French foot, 4x range. It's a 1 column. That's going to be 2 and 3. There's no 3, so it goes up to the 2 column. We rolled a 12, so now we have more problems. When you roll a 12 and you're firing the artillery, you run into low ammo problems until it's resolved in the rally phase with a die roll. So they will not fire now, since they're low on ammo, they will not fire unless an adjacent unit approaches. That piece should be marked with a fire marker anyway. And then, did I want to fire this artillery unit? I mean, gosh, gee golly. 1, 2, 3, 4, why not? Same deal, 4x range, 1 column. Makes 2 for the bonus rank of the defender in line, so that's just going to be a 2. Double check. Yep. Rolled a 10, which is nothing, so nothing doing there. Just too far away. It's in the fire phase, movement phase, something we will milk effectively. Let's go ahead and do that. We've got this. The leader cannot move with him because he is failed his command, which is odd, but mark him as moved. But they passed their individuals, so that's the way it goes. What else wants to move? We all want to move, don't we? La 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 la. Let's move these guys, eh? Mark has moved. I'm leaving that cavalry here. There's no lane to charge anyway. He's already, I could have fired him and should have. I'm going to go back and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is horse artillery. 4x range. Not too far out of range, so he can't fire anyway. These guys want to move, do they? Let's move here. Mark him has moved. And these guys move. Of course they do. Another knocked over tree. There. Mark him has moved. Another knocked over tree. That's 3 shots now. Move. Cavalry's happy where it's at. I think that's it. These guys are half strength and they're in decent cover, shoring up the right flank as best they can. They can't move anywhere. They can't move anywhere. They can turn. They can wheel. Let's wheel. And turn just facing there for our movement for them. We did move. That counts as a move still, though. And that's that. That brings us to defensive fire phase. Prussians, they can. And 1, 2 can fire. Another rule possibility. Mark that one. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. We've got a line unit here on a hill. Prussian line, oh, it's light infantry. We'll be at 5. 6, 7, and 8 column. We get a height advantage. We're in line versus column. Rolled an 8. On an 8 is normal morale check. Did not cower. 7 or less? Yes, they're fine. So that's defensive fired there. Here we go. Who else wants some here? Okay. This guy does. He's in column though. So that's going to be half strength. He has line. That is 2, 2, 3, 4. 4 column. Out of the pool. That would have been a great roll too, man. 6 normal morale check. Which means 7 or less on him. Out of the pool again. This is low walled dice tray here. He failed his morale check. Rolling a 9, so he's not broken. What a pity. What a pity that happened. So that would have been 2, 3, 4 column, which is what I did. Okay, yeah, I did that right. Who else? This is defensive fire, yes. I mean, more of those markers. Here we go. That's what he did. Got this horse artillery unit that I forgot to fire. Let's, shall we? Horse artillery, 2x range. There's one column. Make that 3 for target and column. 4 because he's on a hill. 4 it is. Roll to 5. +1 morale check. Something less at 1, 4, 5, 6. Add 1 is 7. He's fine. Whatever. Let's fire here. That is line in line 4. 5, 6 drops to 5. Is no 5. Makes 4. Roll to 7. Shake and check. A rare shake and check. So instead of pin task checks, we have shake and check. 7 or less. He failed. There's our first shaking unit of the game. Well, of this viewing. We've had some before. Shaken means you're half movement, half firepower, round down. So if you only have 1 movement allotment, you can't move. That was fun. Let's do it again. We'll fire with this guy. Same deal. Should be line infantry, and line is 4, 5, 6. Drops on a 5, no 5, 4 column. For God's sakes, I hate this dice tray. 4 is +1 morale check on him. Same dude. He failed it. So now he's broken. Now he's broken. There we go. Who else? He went from fine to shaken to broken, all through defensive fire. We have finally this guy. I'd love to fire at him, but the woods block line of sight, so we'll have to fire straight ahead. That's fine. Whatever. Horse artillery, 2x range is 2. 3, 4, and it's going to be at 4 column. Need this, please. Thank you. Roll to 3. Can't ask for too much better. That's a +2 morale check. He's attached to a -2 leader, so that makes it a normal morale check. Roll to 4. He's fine. I need a first fire marker. Got 6 defensive fire marker for him. And that'll be the end of the defensive fire phase. Right here. Which brings us to what? Adjustment phase. Nope, advancing fire phase. So anybody that has units within range that moved can fire at half strength. I'm missing this. Let's start with this unit in column, firing uphill. Well, it won't be much. So that'll be 1, 2, drops back down to 1. Jesus. 1 column. Roll to 7, got nothing. Moving right along, we have. What am I doing? Yeah, that's right. Why is he not marked with a fire marker? I'm going to go ahead and fire him. It's weird to me, though, why he was not marked. I missed something here. I don't know what it is. Did he fire and I forget to mark him? See, you got it. These markers are essential. You don't know what the hell you're doing. Same deal, column. It's going to be 1 column, probably less. Rolled an 8, nothing. Was moved. Moved, but he's not broken, so that doesn't matter anymore. He moved. Let's fire him. That is line infantry in column 2, 1, 2. Because he's half strength, so he's in column, which is a 2. And then half of that is a 1 because he moved. Rank bonus for firing artillery is only a 1, so it is the 2 column for firing. That leader modifier doesn't apply unless it's melee, so roll an 8 and that's nothing. Alright, so that is the moving advanced fire phase. Now we do the route phase. This guy pulls back 1 because he's broken. That dude's broke, man. He's out of money. He got to pull out. Come on, man. Pull him back. Any Prussians that... No. Another rule memory here. In previous turn, must also route. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, half a dozen. I don't know if I'd call them bugs as such, but I think that's it. Yes, that was the route phase. Anybody else? Anything else? Here's the adjustment phase. Anybody not adjacent to an enemy unit can wheel or change formation. I think I'm happy with how everybody has been represented. I guess you could change him to line, but I don't want to. Because he's going to be moving up. So let's pull off markers that no longer apply because the phases have expired. Some of these markers are so old they're not even white anymore, they just look like yellow. And over here, that'll bring us to the close combat phase and charges. So we have some new close combat to introduce this round. Right here, this is the French, yes, French go. So right here, well, not the best idea, but we're going to charge uphill. Let's ring this up. So he's in column, which is good. That's what you want. He's fighting other infantry, so that's going to be a 5. Rank bonus is infantry in line is 6. No, infantry column. Go back. Jesus God. 5. 6, 7, because the French are in column. Drops back down to 6 because the Prussians are in line. Drops down to 5 again because of the hill. There's no 5 column. Drops to a 4. Give me something. Roll to 12. Ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. Some of these dice rolls, man. They will battle back and hope to get some sort of result. This is Prussian in line. So how do we ring that up? There's 5 standing and battle back. Yeah, 5. In line makes 6. Against column makes 4. On a hill, back to 5. No 5 column, back down to 4. Rolled an 11, so these dice rolls have really become egregious. Locked in melee. Let's resolve, shall we? Cannot attack cavalry and melee, so will be no... See, that's what I have to determine. I'm not just going to stand there either, so... Yes, it will. They're already locked in melee. we have here? That's French in column. It's going to be 4, 5, 6. Drops to 5. There's no 5. Stays at 4. Roll to 4. Plus 1 morale check. On the Prussian light cavalry. 5, 6, 7. He's fine. Prussian cavalry battles back. Light cavalry there with a 3. 4. Drops down to 2. The guy should be in squares, what should be happening. 2 column with a die result of 3 is a plus 1 morale check. 6, 7, 8. He did break. But there's an issue here that needs to be resolved, having to do with infantry attacking cavalry and forming square. Who else? What's next? We've got this half-strength French unit in column here. Talking about here. Should probably use this so you guys know what the hell's going on. It's just because I do doesn't mean you don't. Alright. Line infantry would be 5, but he's half strength, so it's 2.5, round down to 2. 3, 4, back down to 2. 2 it is. 9, we got nothing going on there. And Prussians battle back. That is light infantry. That is also 4, 5, 6. Back down to 4. In fact, down to 3. There's no 3, makes a 2. Rolled a 10, cowers, nothing. God's sakes. Now we have all this nonsense. This nonsense being the square here. And let's resolve that. So he is full strength French light. It's going to be a 1. No rank bonus for being in square. -1 for the light cavalry, so it's still just a 1 column here. Roll a 6, got nothing. Normal melee for cavalry versus square, no charge bonus. Mains 3, 4. So it's a 4? Is that what you're telling me? 3, 4. And no rank bonus for being square. So yeah, 4. No. Cavalry versus infantry and square. You're losing 5 strength points, so it drops down to 1 as well. Any coward, but it doesn't matter. He got a normal morale check out of all that, if you can believe it. Will it mean anything? It will. That means he will break. So this full strength light infantry unit in square just broke. And he can't move if he's in square. So we'll have to suss that out. Finally, this guy here. No, what did I just say? You don't break. Your broken results are casualty results during melee, so he loses half. It's casualty reduction. That's what happens. Still in square. Good to go. Still locked in melee. Finally, remembering things is fun. Finally, let's do half strength French line unit. Line infantry. There's 5, 2.5. Drops to 2. Rank bonus 3, 4. Row drops back down to 3. There's no 3, so 2 column. And he rolled a 3, so that's a +1 morale check on the. Listen, +1 morale check on the cavalry. 3, 4, 5, 6. He's fine. Light cavalry battles back with 3. 4 drops down to 2. And he rolled a freaking 11, so there's the end of that. And that's it for the melee phase. Close combat phase, and then that starts the Prussian turn. And that would be the beginning of a 4th turn. No, it wouldn't. 3.5. After this, we'll go to turn 4. Is there more stuff that I can keep track of? Actually, it's about 85% functioning right now. We do have, since this viewing, a number of notes to consider here that'll be worked into the rules and decided on. Mostly having to do with, oh god, my head is mostly deciding to do with melee and stuff like that. Thinking. Rally phase. I'm going to go ahead and kill this. It's hot in here. I'm going to take a break. I may come back this evening or possibly tomorrow. But I'm going to bang out some of these wrinkles and talk to you soon. All right, guys.